Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from the Challenge Championship and the Collins Cup. We're brought to you by Master Spas, Hyperice, Form Smart Swim Goggles, UCAN, HOKA, One Class USA, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Mr. Matt Hanson, a proud member of Team USA,
Good
sporting
to be back.
the colors. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, thanks.
A pleasure. So tell me about, you've been dealing with a little knee issue.
Yeah, definitely not the summer I was hoping for when I started things off, but it's been a disguised opportunity, I think. Coming out of Daytona, I was running really well. Carried that through all the races that I did up through St. George. I had really solid runs, but I wasn't biking as well as I should have been. And right after St. George, my knee turned into a watermelon for some reason, and I've been fighting with that all summer. But it's allowed me to put a little bit more focus on the swim and the bike, and so hopefully it all comes together this weekend.
Well, and you seem to step up for these big media. We've got the lights on, we got everybody watching, and if beforehand in Daytona, I don't think Matt Hanson would have been at the top of the list if someone's going to run their way in the second place. So talk a little bit about that race in particular, because that's such a different format, right? Having everything on the track, and the fact that you ran so well and ran your way past the field. Yeah,
there was so much that went right about that day. A lot of us didn't really know what to expect going into it. You had a lot of the Olympic distance guys coming up a little bit longer, having to sit in aero, and then they're going to be exposed with a 20-meter draft rule, which is great for me anyways. I appreciate that. And yeah, it was a great course for me. I'm a flow runner, not necessarily a strength runner, so I like to just get into a groove and hold on.
Stay there,
and, that works well for me on the bike. Coming from Iowa, I'm in Colorado now, but back in Iowa, I was doing a lot of work on the treadmill and the trainer over the winter. So it just set up a great situation, and then was able to execute on the day and let it rip in the last 5K.
And that was 70K. That's a big payday.
It didn't suck. It didn't suck.
And especially after the last year where there was no racing, where that really did suck.
Yes, yeah, for sure. It definitely saved the year for sure on the financial side of things, and made it so I could be a little bit more flexible with the scheduling this year. I didn't have to go to a big early season race,
right?
And all the build was up to this race, and then the 2 world championship races after. Well, now 1 world championship race after, and
right. So St. George.
Yeah. So I'll be in St. George if all goes as planned.
So, how many total Ironmans have you done now, or Iron distance?
I have 24, 25. Yeah.
Have you changed your approach to those things over the years? Because you've done a lot of them, do you have to keep the mileage a little lower in the run or on the bike? How do you approach these now?
Yeah, definitely a little bit lower on the run mileage than I was earlier in the career. Early on, I think I would be 75 miles a week pretty much year round.
Yes.
Now I'll hit that 2 or 3 weeks leading into a big race at the cap, but much lower the rest of the time. So as Julie says, I'm not going to forget how to run. So let's save the energy, attack the low-hanging fruit for me, and that's been really a big focus on the swim, and then obviously a lot of work on the bike as well.
So Julie Dibbins is the coach.
Julie Dibbins is the all-around coach, and I have Matt Bottrell that helps me on the bike as well. So they make a good team. They're a lot of fun.
And how many people are you coaching?
Personally, I've got 12 on the roster, and then I've got a coaching business with 13 coaches right now, and that's been going pretty well.
I was going to say, how do you balance all of that?
Honestly, to me, I need to keep my brain working, and if I'm not working on or thinking about somebody else's program, I'm overanalyzing my own, and so I like to have
that's a good point.
Like to have Julie and Matt cover that for me. So my job as the athlete side is to just go and execute the training and trust in the process. They've earned that. I've been with them for a number of years and had a lot of good results, and so they've earned that trust. And so as long as I'm doing my job as an athlete, ticking off the boxes, then I can focus the analytical side of my energy on not thinking about myself and helping others.
So
reach
when you work with people coaching you, were you self-coached for a while?
I was for a little bit, and then it got like I would spend so much more time on my own. Like it was just too much.
Yeah.
And so, this approach allows me to really, just keep the athlete side of me an athlete.
Right.
And not stress out so much about what I'm doing. I'll definitely meet with Matt and Julie and, kind of talk about the grand scheme, the grand plan.
Yes.
And then just let them do their thing, and it works pretty well.
Have there been some of the things that they've brought to you that you go, that's a good idea. I'll use some of that with my athletes.
Yeah, for sure. Julie is obviously a collegiate swimmer.
Yes.
I definitely rely on her a lot for that. And then Matt is a bike specialist, time trial specialist.
Yes.
So, just the aero gains and drills and things like that we're doing on a regular basis have definitely helped find some free speed, which is nice.
Did you start out, when you started in this, were you more of an Olympic distance guy, or did you jump in more longer distance right away?
Yeah, longer distance right away. I think I've done 2 Olympic races in my career.
So you knew right away with my swim, I better be.
Yeah, pretty much. I needed as long as possible on the run to start making up for it, I guess. I didn't really find much success in 70.3s until a few years into it when I started making a little bit more gain in the swim.
Right, yeah, man, you got to be in the hunt.
Yeah,
You gotta be in the hunt.
yeah, for sure.
And my last notes were 4-time Ironman champion, 3-time 70.3 champion.
5 and 5, I think.
5 and 5. Yeah. Look at you, man. That is awesome. And so after you're going to do St. George, are you going to look at, now that Kona's not around, Ironman California or some of these other?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to just get
worry
through
about
St.
the knee
George.
first.
Yeah, make sure I'm healthy, get through these 2 races healthy. And then, I'm definitely eyeing Clash Daytona. In December. If an Ironman fits around that in the fall, that would be great. But I'm not going to force it.
Yes.
If it happens, it happens. I really want to have a good go at Kona, and obviously it's a bummer that it's pushed back, but it might be an opportunity to make sure I'm 100% healthy on race day if things don't go well these next 2 races.
Exactly, because when you're dealing with knee stuff, you don't want to be coming back too soon.
Yeah, I mean, this. I think I'm healthy. I've had good workouts leading into it, and I'm pretty confident for the next couple of races. But you never know what's going to happen.
So I'm imagining that this is a new concept for you, racing 2 other people.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I've been in races where I've only been around 2 other people, but they're usually at the back.
Not usually starting with the swim and knowing you're going to be with them the entire day.
Yeah, exactly.
So you looking forward to it?
I am. It's a great opportunity. I've been saying this in a lot of the media stuff all along, is we need to grow the sport. We need the top athletes racing the top athletes. And
Always.
We need to be, as athletes, it's got to make sense for us to do so. And what the PTO has done with this race has basically incentivize us to come and lay it all out there against the best athletes in the world, and that's what's going to grow the sport. It's
interesting because I'm sure there were guys in the last number of years who would go and they'd look at 70.3 is coming up. There's only $5,000 total. I can get that guy. He's probably got me. I'm going to come away. It's going to cost me money. I'm not going to go to that race.
Yeah, a lot of races you go and you get 4th and you pay to work. And, most races, if you're not in the top 3, without a bonus structure or whatever, it's
with sponsorships.
It's tough to make that financially make sense. It's an exciting time to be.
It really is
in the upward trajectory of the sport.
What I enjoy is just over this last year seeing Challenge Daytona and Challenge Miami and this event come to fruition, because Charles Adamo has been talking about this event for the last 5 years. And to see it actually happening and just see the logistics of starting people every 2 minutes and all these different starts and captain's picks. And then we'll find out, is it today we find out who the matchups are?
Yeah, this afternoon.
Oh my God. It's a 3-ring circus. And it's really, the 3-ring circus is bringing triathlon into the spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, we need to find ways to keep people's attention, to make it work for TV.
Right.
Again, that's going to help get more eyes on the sport, and the short course has done a pretty good job with that.
Right.
And now the long course is as well. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
The balance between your being a coach and being an athlete, do you find that still being relevant as a professional athlete helps with the coaching?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no better advertising than winning races or performing well.
Right.
I really hope that when it's all said and done for me on the athlete side, I'm able to keep doing this. I want to, I always say I want to retire in the sport. I want to, have coaching be the next step. And
Sure.
so, now is just, kind of having the infrastructure in place and making sure that, I'm trying to build the right profile and do things the right way, and hope that it takes care of itself when I'm not able to keep up with these young guys anymore.
When you look back at your career, besides Daytona, is there another race that sticks out as maybe not even a one that you won, but a race that was important to you in terms of letting you know that, hey, I can be really good at this?
Yeah, I mean, Ironman Texas has always been a great place for me. I won it in 15 when I wasn't really expected to be anywhere in the ballpark, and then won it in 17, and then the battle I had in 2018 running neck and neck with someone for basically 25 and a half miles to pull ahead at the end was a pretty special moment as well there.
So 3 wins there.
Yeah, I've won there 3 times.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So hopefully, then it was canceled this year.
Yeah, well, I think it's this fall still now.
Texas.
Yeah, yep.
Wow. Hey, Matt, always a pleasure, bud. It's always great to see you. I know there's always a big race when we see you on the starting list, right? We know it's going to be a good one. And how did things change for you besides the 70K out of Daytona? Was there some good buzz around you and your coaching after a race like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like everybody, the coaching business was hit really hard with COVID when the races disappeared. So, the profile from that race definitely got a few people's attention from the coaching side of things, which is great. But overall, like, it was just a huge confidence builder.
Absolutely.
Being against the best in all distances of the sport and having a great day on a good day to have it, I guess.
Exactly.
It definitely was a big race.
Hey, well, good luck this Saturday, and hopefully you'll bring in the Collins Cup home to the good old USA.
Yeah, we want to bring home a trophy and hope it's not the broken spoke.
I was talking about broken spoke is for third, Collins Cup for first, second place
you get nothing.
gets stiffed.
Yeah.
You get nothing. What the heck?
I think I'd rather have nothing than the broken spoke, but that's all right.
That's okay. Hey, everybody, thanks again for tuning in. Matt Hanson has been our guest. We will be right back.